You're at the DNC to get information. Well, what have you been able to find out?
Oh, I have so much hot goss, Stephen. Like, did you know that the Democrats are casting a magical spell to turn the First Lady into a man? The food here is so rich I could marry it. The only thing I don't like is that big silver monument built for my husband. She gets Doug Emhoff, I get that Jagoff. Chicago slang, I love it here.
Yes, it really does seem like you've taken to Chicago.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Remember when Donald Trump used to call himself the king of Twitter? Well, it looks like the court jester just stole his crown. Late-night hosts Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert have been on a comedic rampage, taking jabs at none other than the former First Lady, Melania Trump, and let's just say, it has not gone unnoticed by the big guy himself. The late-night roasting has Trump's tiny fingers twitching for his phone, ready to unleash a fresh Twitter meltdown. If you haven't been keeping up, don't worry. We're about to dive into the juiciest, most hilarious jabs that have the ex-president fuming. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Before we get into the good stuff, though, I'd like to ask for a small favor. If you appreciate this kind of content, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you absolutely nothing, but makes a world of difference to us.
A comb over like that, I wouldn't like windmills either, but too much. I feel like he might be running out of material. This is all from last week. Witch hunt, election interference, witch hunt again, political witch hunt. He's literally Don Quixote. It's not even a metaphor anymore. He's battling windmills. I mean.
So, did you hit the subscribe button?
Great.
Thank you so much. Now, let's get back to the late night laughs. Jimmy Kimmel has been at it again, folks, and this time, he's locked and loaded, taking aim at the former First Lady herself, Melania Trump. Kimmel kicked things off with a side-splitting montage of Melania's most awkward and cringe-worthy public moments. You know the ones, where she looks like she'd rather be anywhere else in the world than standing next to the big, orange guy. The audience was already chuckling, but Kimmel wasn't done yet. He quickly followed up with what might just be the roast of the decade. According to Kimmel, Melania's favorite hobby isn't tennis, gardening, or interior decorating.
Nope.
It's social distancing from Donald.
Ouch.
That one had to sting. The crowd erupted in laughter, and you could almost hear the steam coming out of Trump's ears all the way from Mar-a-Lago. But the hits just kept coming. Kimmel then shared what he claimed was a leaked text from Melania to her hairdresser. In the message, she supposedly complained about Donald's toupee, describing it as looking like a dead squirrel having a bad hair day. The audience howled at that one. And let's be honest, who among us hasn't wondered the same thing? And just when you thought Kimmel was done, he ramped things up even further. Teasing an even bigger reveal, he had the audience on the edge of their seats, wondering what was coming next. And boy, did he deliver. In a segment he called Melania's Secret Wish, Kimmel claimed that the former First Lady dreams of being trapped inside the Obama portrait at the White House.
Why?
Because, according to Kimmel, it's the only place in the White House where she knows Donald won't go. The crowd absolutely lost it. And honestly, even Trump himself might have had to crack a smile at that one.
Just kidding.
We all know he has no sense of humor. As the laughter died down, Kimmel seemed to shift gears, setting up his late-night colleague, Stephen Colbert, for the next round of roasts. It was like a well-coordinated comedy tag team, with Trump as the unwitting participant in this verbal wrestling match. Stephen Colbert, never one to be outdone, especially when it comes to skewering Trump, entered the ring swinging. He kicked off his segment by diving straight into Trump's latest social media meltdown, which, let's be honest, could be about anything from windmills to light bulbs to hamburgers. But that was just the warm-up. Colbert, with that signature glint of mischief in his eye, then pulled out what he claimed was a leaked document from an anonymous White House source. Ladies and gentlemen, Colbert declared with a dramatic flourish, "I present to you Trump's to-do list." The audience roared with laughter as Colbert began reading out supposed items from the list. 1. Learn to spell hamburger. 2. Ask Ivanka what NATO means. 3. Find out if windmills really do cause cancer. The crowd was in stitches, but Colbert wasn't finished just yet. He then unveiled a giant prop, a mock-up of Trump's actual smartphone. Now, we all know Trump loves to tweet, but have you ever wondered what his autocorrect suggestions might look like? Well, wonder no more. Colbert displayed a series of hilariously absurd autocorrect options for one of Trump's most infamous tweets, Covfefe. Each one was more ridiculous than the last, and the audience couldn't get enough. Then came the piece de resistance. Colbert, barely able to contain his laughter, announced that his team had intercepted some of Trump's real-time responses to their comedy routine. He proceeded to read out a series of increasingly unhinged Trump tweets. Stephen Collar thinks he's so smart. I know more words than anyone. The best words. Bigly words. Colbert read, mimicking Trump's voice to perfection. The audience roared.
Mrs. Trump, no, we haven't seen you lately, so we don't know your thoughts on your husband's campaign yet. For example, what do you think of his new running mate?
Oh, Stephen, I have always been in favor of him getting a new mate. Up top.
But what do you think about J.D. Vance himself? What do you think he brings to the ticket?
I think he brings some strong positions on conservative issues and some freaky positions on his sofa.
That is unbecoming, my first lady. No. Not only is that unbecoming of your position, for the record, we all know that this couch story isn't true.
Colbert's ratings are faker than CNN.
Sad.
Another round of laughter. I demand Colbert be investigated for comedy treason. At this point, Colbert himself had to take a moment to compose himself before continuing. The Late Show is a witch hunt, led by angry Democrats and Lorne Michaels. The crowd went wild. As the laughter finally began to subside, Colbert addressed the camera directly. Now, I know what you're thinking. How's the orange guy taking all this heat? Well, if history has taught us anything, I'd say he's probably rage tweeting from his golden toilet as we speak. And with that, the comedy battle of the century reached its peak. Kimmel and Colbert, armed with nothing but their wit and some well-timed jabs, had managed to rattle the great orange bird himself. Who knew that a couple of funny guys with late-night talk shows could cause such a ruckus in the halls of power? But let's not forget, laughter is the best medicine, especially when dealing with a chronic case of Trump. It's like giving a political enema to the nation. Uncomfortable?
Sure.
But oh so necessary. And if it means we get to enjoy yet another Twitter tantrum from Donnie Diapers himself, then all the better. After all, it's free entertainment for the rest of us. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. This comedy battle royale is far from over. Who knows what secrets our late-night heroes will uncover next? Maybe they'll finally crack the mystery of what's really living on top of Trump's head. Spoiler alert, it's probably not a bald eagle.